plan for today, we'll get the oil changed, get it topped off with coolant and power steering fluid. And hoping today is the day we start the truck back up. Fingers crossed. Let's go to O'Reilly's. Okay, O'Reilly's had had the oil. We're gonna just get that changed and start adding some coolant and hook up the well, first we're gonna hook up the radiator hoses, and we'll add the coolant, add the oil, and I think we're about ready to fire this thing up. Real quick though, save me some toilet paper, man. I just need some regular toilet paper for the house. Going in there and people are going crazy. It's stupid. Which also spins me on to, I needed some distilled water for the radiator. They don't have any, so I'm gonna have to use regular water. Oh, another thing. Oil is like $17 a barrel right now. Why the hell is every type of oil $30 for five quarts? Okay. While that was draining, I put on the new oil filter, which is really hard to kind of pre-fill, so I can only get about halfway into it and try to screw it on real quick. Yeah, I tell you what, that oil wasn't as nasty as I thought it was supposed to be. It started off a little bit, and then by the end it was pretty much looking like regular oil. Again, this truck has been sitting for 2 months, so I don't know how that works. Let's go ahead and fill up. Okay, that's 6 quarts. Let's put this back on for now. Oh, that makes me think I need to hook up the PCV valve in the back. Miscellaneous bolts we forgot to tighten up. That's what I was looking for. So we need to tighten up these two. I completely forgot about. The little things I forgot. The bracket for the alternator and power steering pump. I need to tighten up this bolt and this bolt. I accidentally removed a bolt on the timing cover when I was trying to get the water pump off. I need to tighten that up. Okay. Same over here. Okay. Timing cover bolt. Okay. Lower radiator. Coming in from the bottom, we're going to put the lower radiator hose back on. Alright. Okay, looking up. Need to go. Is that behind? Yeah. Behind here. No, that ain't right. That's how it goes. Okay. Slide it on the water pump. Slide it underneath the transmission coolant lines, and we got ourselves a connected hose. What we got? I think that looks tight. Now, for this hose, we need to get in here and tighten up that clamp. That's coming off the water pump. Okay, that's the lower radiator hose is installed. What's next? Fan? Sure. So, weird camera angle, but you're looking straight down here. Fan, shroud. Yep, you're gonna have to move. So let's get the shroud tightened in real quick. I'm so over this GoPro. Missed everything as usual. I went to pause it real quick to look at the belt diagram and realized I had stopped it a minute ago somehow. So to get the fan on, after I put the shroud, I just basically held it in place, spun it clockwise until it tensioned up. I then attached the lower radiator hose and now the upper, and now we're gonna put the belt on. And I had to go look that up. So we're routing around the power steering, around the air conditioning, over the water pump, around the crank, around the air pump. I keep calling it smog pump, air pump, whatever you want to call it. Over the alternator, which leaves me with oh, we're almost off of the dam. Okay. Yeah, this is a nightmare. Okay, next obstacle is the battery cables. Somehow are short on one of the cables. So I want to get a little bit taken off these cables. But I got to get this one now hooked back up here. So let's make another crimp. What I'll do is put a little heat shrink on it. I don't feel like getting my dang heat gun out. I got every tool I own scattered everywhere anyway, so let's just do this. Real professional. Alright, better than nothing. More tools to put up. Now we're ready to put a battery back in. Let's put some coolant in here while we're doing this. So I'm gonna have to mix this with water. For antifreeze, water. Didn't even realize I had this pre-diluted. We've been using this the whole time. I see a leak. I can't tell where. Can't tell if it's the water pump. It's the lower radiator hose. I guess that's a good thing. But that's what's leaking. It's gotta be. I gotta figure out this leak. I'll be right back. Alright, we had a little bit of an oh crap moment just now. There was a leak. As soon as I started putting the coolant in, I was on my 3rd gallon, 2.5 gallons, and it started pouring out. And it really freaked me out. I got up underneath there as best I could, and it looks like it's just the lower radiator hose. I can't see it leaking off of anywhere else. I can see where it was, that hose clamp. Maybe it's just tore into it. It's just old. So it's 20 bucks. I gotta go buy another one. So to be continued. I'll be right back. $25 later. We changed out the lower radiator hose, and I'm a little worried about it. The other one had these other type of old school hose clamps, and they had the staples in them, and I think that's where it punctured through on one of them. I don't know. This may leak again. We're about to find out though. leak already. I just need to tighten up that bottom hose clamp a little bit. I'll play it safe. I'm gonna put water in it because if it leaks again, I don't want to waste any more antifreeze. It's leaking from the water pump. No, it's leaking from the thermostat. Huh. So that's where it's leaking from, the thermostat. Sorry guys, I gotta pause this. It was a hard-fought battle today. The truck won. Pretty frustrated today. So I'm on hold again, waiting on parts. Basically what ended up happening, started filling it up with coolant, had the lower radiator hose leak, found where it was leaking. There was a decent little hole in it. Got it all set up again, started filling up coolant the second time, and it started leaking again. So the thermostat housing was leaking underneath and pouring down over my water pump, running down, trickling, and hitting the hose and dripping. So it made it look like it was dripping off the top. Here's what I found on the thermostat housing. It's so pitted that I'm guessing it was leaking. It started leaking from the bottom. I didn't see anything trickling out of the top. It just wouldn't catch a good seal here. But when I pulled it off, compared it to like say a newer one with a nice flush seal seat right here, comparing it to a newer one with a nice flat surface that wasn't so worn down, I could see where it was trying to leak out. Let's ignore these dents and dings. Maybe I did go completely crazy on it because I was getting mad at it, and I'll explain why in a minute. But this wasn't creating a seal. When I looked at the old cylinder head, I noticed the gasket material was pretty good, and at the bottom it was just super caked. Even the old thermostat had a lot of gunk on the bottom, so I'm betting this isn't the first time that this housing had leaked. So originally I was just going to change it out, and I could tell it was just not going to seal. I wasn't going to fight that battle. So I decided to make a phone call and just get a new thermostat housing. Even it's so pitted, even at the top, it's almost punched all the way through in a couple spots. It's time to replace it. But I found one of these thermostat housings in Texas City, which is kind of another far drive for me, and I was dreading it. But before I wanted to go pick that part up, I wanted to get the elbow out. This piece is seized in here, and I mean seized. The sensor, we can get that right out. This elbow, I heated it, I soaked it in oil. Long story short, now you see why there's dents and dings in it. I went ballistic because this is what's holding up, just trying to get the truck done. So we're waiting on, I'm going to pick this piece up tomorrow, and then this elbow, I had to order one online that's supposed to ship between the 19th and 25th. So unless by the grace of God this soaks enough and I can come out here and break this loose, I'm on hold. Frustrating day. I wanted to be done. I was this close. This close. I blame the coronavirus. So I'm going to end the video, unfortunately, there, and we'll have to pick up and try to do more next time. Well, if y'all stuck with me to the end, I appreciate it. Hopefully the next video will have the first startup. Read the description below. Some great channels, great guys. And as always, I'll catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.